Okay, I want to go over risk to reward in this training. So for those who don't understand what risk to reward is, that is what you're risking in return for your reward. Meaning, are you risking $10 to make five, $10 to make $1, $10 to make $10, $10 to make $40, so forth. What determines that is your stop loss and your take profit. So at your entry, wherever your stop loss is and your take profit determines your risk to reward. So, give an example. In this, there was a short. That means it was a sell. Our stop loss was up here, and our TP1 was a 0.5. And you can see it right here, just in case you don't understand. What does that mean? That means that I'm risking half, I'm making half of what I am aiming for. So half of one. So if I'm risking $100, then I can make $50 in TP1. So let's talk about the benefits of each one after we go through these. Then we have TP2. This is a one to one. What does that mean? And it's a little bit, bring it up here so we can see it better, right there. So a 1-to-1 basically means that if it's a 1, that means I'm risking the same that I'm aiming to make. So I'm risking the $100 to make $100. And then we have TP3. I'm risking $100 to make $150. Now, the Trinity gives you multiple different TPs. So that's why instead I want to go balance. And with balance, TP3 goes to 2. So now I'm risking $100 to make $200 in TP3. Then we have the runner. And this one goes for 1 to 3. And this is risking $100 to make $300. So what are the pros and cons to each of these TPs, and which one should you choose? Well, first of all, if we choose TP1 on this setup, the pros of this is you're going to win a lot. The thing is, you're going to have to win a lot. You're going to have to, and I'm going to show you a spreadsheet later, but you're going to have to win at least 65% of the time, sometimes 70. And so that's the downside to it, because you have to win a lot. Good thing with this indicator, you can win, just do TP1 and still be in profit. But there are going to be weeks where you're catching up on trades because you're only going for half of what you're risking. Then we have TP2, 1 to 1. That means you can win. You have to just be 55% profitable. So, and that means that, and 50% profitable means you're going to be breaking even. So that's where you want, and this will definitely get you 55% plus more or more. So, but then we have, for example, let's take this back to the safe, the 1.5. Now you really only have to be 44% profitable. So I think you're kind of getting the gist of this, where the further we are, let's say we go for 1 to 2, we don't have to be profitable as often, because we're making more money the further it is. So this is about 30, you have to be like 35% profitable. Then we have 1 to 3. That's profitable, 35% win rate. Then we have 1 to 3. You really only have to win 27% of the time. Now, that being said, most people choose TP1 because they have this thing where they have to win all the time. And I get it. It sucks losing, because you have to have tunnel vision, long-term vision to want to see your trades play out in the next 2 or 3 or 4 months. And it's hard for most people because you lose 3 or 4 trades in a row, you're discouraged. Imagine you win 2 or 3 or 4 trades on a 3.0, I win 1 to 3. Now, instead of I'll give you the difference. When you win 5, let's say you lose 5 trades, let's say you win 5 trades in a row and own the 1 to 3. You will have to play catch up with your losses to even catch up to your 1 to 3. But if you win 5 trades in a row on the 0.5, you lose 2 or 3 trades. I mean, you win 5 trades. One trade, 1 or 2 trades, you pretty much back to break even. So yes, it's harder to sustain that, but I just like to give people this. Then there are people, what they do is they use these TP1, TP2 for stop moving their stop loss to break even. So for example, the trade might hit TP1. So instead of them going for TP1, they might go for TP3, TP3 on the 3.0 or 2.0 or 1.5 and use their TP1 as leverage to say, you know what, I'm going to move my stop loss to break even. Then there are people who don't move their stop loss at all. And whenever it hits TP1, they just let the trade ride out. And then we have this one, this setup right here called the trend runner. This one gives you more wiggle room. So if it hits TP1 and you move your stop loss to break even like this, now if the trade, it takes more time for the trade to turn around and they can do like this. See, but on the other one, you don't have as much room. Because now if it hits your 1.5, I mean your 0.5, and then you move stop loss to break even, it can come right back here because you didn't give it enough room. So, but now if you choose the other one, it's going to be even further to 1.0. So I know it's a lot. I know it's hard to choose which one, and you just have to find your feeling with it. So what's cool about this indicator, guys, is that it lets you know the last time to hit certain trades. So let's look at this one, for example. It hit stop loss twice. It hit TP3 1, 2, 3, 4 times. TP1 once. TP2 twice. So you can get a feel for it. They give you a little more confidence of, how well it's been doing the last 10 trades. And some of you guys are going to let it 1 to 3 ride out all the way. Some of you guys are only going to go for 1 to 2. Some of you guys are going to go for 1 to 1. Some of you guys are going to go for 0.5. Some of you guys are going to move stop loss to break even. So you have to find your footing. But I made this little summary just to kind of give you an example of, a scenario. So let's say that on a 0.5, we took 10 trades. These are 10 trades every time. If you lost 7 times and won 3 we're using a $100,000 account, risking 1%. Just to keep the number simple. You will have lost 5% on your account. So which I know 5,500 looks like a lot, but it's not a lot on 100,000, but it's still a lot. So, but the chances of you losing 7 trades in a row is very low because it's 0.5 risk to reward, but it can happen. Now we're going to do a scenario of you winning 5 wins and 5 losses. Now you're negative 2,500 because you won 5, you lost 5. But remember, you're going for half the profit. But then let's say you won 7 trades and lost 3. That's $500 you would have made. And this one is more unlikely to happen versus these two, but these two can happen only because it's 0.5 and it's very close. Then we have the 1.0. If you lose 7 trades in that in a row, or not in a row, just 7 trades in general out of 10, and won 3, you'll be negative 4,000 instead, so your losses would have been a lot lower. On a 5 to 5, you would have lost $0. You would have broken even. And if you won 7 trades and lost 3, you would have made $4,000. So then we're going to the 1.5. I like this one because it's not too bad. So if you win, let's say you lost, they did 10 trades. You lost 7 and you won 3. You will only be negative 2,500, even though you lost 70% of your trades. But if you won 5 and lost 5, you would still have made $2,500 off the 1.5. And by default, Trinity on safe mode is 1.5 for TP3. So if you were on safe mode the whole time, and went for TP3 every time, if you're 50% profitable, you would be fine. So let's look at this. You were 70%. Let me see. You lost 2 out of 10 trades. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades hit so far on this, and the other one just hit TP1 as the first hit, and stop losses twice. But let's say you won 7 trades and lost 3. You would have made $7,500. So you don't have to win all the time, guys, when you're going for those higher TPs. But you are going to have to be patient. You're going to sometimes lose. There will be months where there'll be 10 trades where you lose 7 stop losses and hit 3. Then there are going to be ones where you 50%. But then guess what? You just broke even. Month 1, you lost 7 trades and won 3. Month 2, you won 5 trades and lost 5 trades. Now you're broken even on that. Now in this month, you did a really good month. Now you're up $7,500 plus that $2,500. That's $10,000. Then we have the next one, which is the balanced. This one hits TP2 quite often as well. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 times. If you did 10 trades and lost lost 7 and won 3, you only lost $1,000 in a $100,000 account. Going for 1 to 2. For $5,000, or if you won 5 and lost 5, you would have made $5,000, and you would have made $11,000 if you won 7 and lost 3. Then we have the last one, which is either runner or trend. And so runner or trend, if you lost 7 trades and won 3, you will still be in profit $2,000. If you won 5 trades and lost 5 trades, you will still be profit $10,000. If you won 7 trades and lost 3, you would make $18,000. So that's kind of how I thought to talk about this, because I think a lot of people don't know what to pick or why can't they be consistent. Is because they have this, I have to win every trade. So if we're looking at these numbers, you just have to ask yourself, where am I comfortable losing? And I can see the bigger picture now. So hopefully this video was helpful when it comes to risk reward. You can apply it towards the signals, towards the indicator. I used the indicator as an example, but it's the same thing you can do for the signals, towards your own trading. So hopefully this video was helpful when it comes to risk to reward. Again, we have full training. These are the recommended pairs I use for this. And we can just look at a couple of them. As you can see, just based off of the runner, you'll be in profit extremely. Let's look at CAD JPY, and this is off of 1 to 3. You will still be in profit. So, yeah, it's pretty solid. Let's look at Bitcoin even, right? Now, Bitcoin, we would change the strategy to liquidity sniper. And I already went over training, and it would have won every single trade and hit TP3 as well quite often. So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Again, you can make sure you use our training to figure out which strategy works for which pairs and what time frame. And then look at the last 10 trades to get a little comfortable. And again, you're going to see times where you might lose. You might lose 4 times in a row. The only time that can be detrimental is if you're choosing the 0.5. So I know as new people, you're going to choose 0.5, but work your way up to being a little bit more confident to at least 1.5, 2.0, or 3.0.